You ever wonder if AIs are really thinking, or are they just incredible at faking it? Well, today we're going to talk about a brand new framework called Tree of Thoughts that's giving AI a way to solve problems that feels much more, well, human. This is a fascinating shift, and it might just be the key to unlocking what AI can really do.
So here's the plan. First, we'll look at the AI's fast brain and see why it keeps getting stuck. Then we'll dive into the main idea, thinking in a tree. After that, we'll break down how it all works, look at some mind-blowing test results, and finally talk about what this all means for the future of AI.
All right, so to really get why this tree of thoughts thing is such a game changer, we first have to understand what's holding back even the most powerful AI models we have today.
So, back to that question. Are these AIs actually thinking? For the most part, not really. What they're brilliant at is predicting the next most likely word in a sentence. They build out their answers one single word at a time, moving in a straight line. Now, that's great for a lot of things, but it's just not how we humans tackle really complicated problems.
This actually lines up perfectly with a really cool idea from psychology. You see, we humans have two ways of thinking. There's System 1, which is that fast, automatic gut reaction stuff, and then there's System 2, which is slow, deliberate, and what you use when you're carefully working through a puzzle. And here's the core of the problem. Most AIs today are absolute masters of System 1 thinking. They just go, generating text without any real plan. And if they make a mistake early on, too bad, they can't go back. It's like they're on a one-way street with no exits, which is a huge problem when you need strategy. And that's exactly where Tree of Thoughts comes in. It's a way to finally give AI that methodical System 2 brain it's been missing.
Okay, so check this out. The old method, which they call chain of thought, is literally a straight line, one idea after another. But Tree of Thoughts is, well, a tree. It lets the AI explore a whole bunch of different reasoning paths, different branches, all at the same time. If it goes down one path and it doesn't work out, no big deal. It just backtracks and tries another one.
This simple idea unlocks some incredible new powers. The AI can now explore all these different avenues, and this is the really important part. It can self-evaluate. It can look at its own ideas and decide which ones are promising. It can peek ahead, see where a path is leading, and, like we said, if it's a dead end, it just turns back. This is a total game changer.
So how does this magic actually happen? It's not just random guessing, right? It's a very deliberate, structured, four-part process that makes it all work.
Okay, here's how it goes down. First, the AI decomposes the problem, just breaking it into smaller pieces. Next, it generates a bunch of potential thoughts for how to solve the next piece. And here's the key. It then evaluates its own ideas, rating how good each one is. Finally, based on those ratings, it searches for the best path to follow.
And when we say thought, what does that even mean? Well, in this case, a thought is just a little chunk of text that's an intermediate step. For a math problem, it could be a single equation. For a writing assignment, it might be a quick outline for the next paragraph. It's a super flexible idea that just adapts to whatever problem it's trying to solve.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but the proof is in the pudding, right? Does it actually work? Well, the researchers threw some seriously tough challenges at it, the kind of stuff that just stumps normal AIs.
First on the list, the game of 24. It sounds simple. You get 4 numbers, and you have to use basic math, plus, minus, times, divide, to get to 24. But it's tricky, because you have to plan ahead. One wrong move at the beginning, and the whole puzzle becomes impossible.
And the results are just staggering. The standard straight-line thinking method, it solved the puzzle only 4% of the time. 4%. But with Tree of Thoughts, its success rate shot up to 74%. I mean, that's not just an improvement. That is a whole different ballgame.
So why did the old way fail so badly? This number says it all. A massive 60% of the time, it failed after the very first calculation. It would make one wrong move, and that's it. It was stuck. It had no way to say, whoops, that was a bad idea, let me try something else.
All right, so it's good at math, but what about something creative? For the next test, they gave the AI a really hard writing challenge. It had to write a 4-paragraph story, but with a huge catch. Each paragraph had to end with a specific, random sentence that they provided. You need some serious high-level planning to pull that off.
So what did the Tree of Thoughts AI do? First, just like a human writer, it brainstormed a few different plans for the story. Some of them were a little clunky, just trying to force the sentences together without a clear theme. But then, it did that crucial evaluation step.
It looked at its own ideas and deliberately picked the most promising one. And the plan it chose was genius. It used a self-help book as a clever frame to connect all 4 of those random sentences into a story that actually made sense.
So, what did actual humans think? Well, when people compared the stories, they preferred the Tree of Thoughts version 41% of the time compared to just 21% for the standard method. This proves it. TOT isn't just for math. It makes the AI a much more coherent and creative writer, too.
So let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Why is this more than just some clever new trick? What does it all mean?
What's so amazing is this isn't even a brand new idea. Way back in 1959, some of the pioneers of AI research basically described this exact process. They said that real problem solving is all about exploration, about trying things until you find what works. Tree of Thoughts is finally making that classic vision a reality.
Ultimately, what we're seeing here is a fundamental shift. We are moving away from an AI that's just an incredible pattern matcher, just predicting the next word, to an AI that can actually plan, explore different options, and even reason about its own thinking process.
And that leaves us with one final, really provocative question. Now that AI has a way to deliberately plan, to explore possibilities, and to backtrack from its own mistakes just like we do, what are the really complex problems, from scientific discovery to creative breakthroughs, that we're finally going to be able to solve next?